Right people, so I know it's been a while since I made a video. The last video we did was the one on the RS3, the new one. Today we're not going to be doing a review though, we're going to go over the running costs of this car. I did a poll on my Instagram the other day and people said that they wanted to see it. We're basically going to go over how much it costs to run an S3 like that for about a year. I've had it for about 14 months now. It's done about 9,500 miles, so I should be able to give you guys a good sort of feel of how it's like to sort of run one. We're going to focus on stuff like servicing, brakes, tyres, general stuff like that. So yeah, let's get started. Right guys, this video is going to be a bit more informative. We're not going to be doing no extravagant stuff like we normally do, like driving RS3s on country roads and getting flybys. We're just going to basically talk about all the sort of boring stuff, you could put it that way, but it's also quite interesting if you're looking to get a car like this, Audi S3. We'll kick it off with fuel. Now I have done a video on fuel back in the days, if some of you guys have been following me for a while. It was one of my first few videos I did. It was called How Efficient an S3 Is. Since then it has improved, I'm not going to lie. Back then it was doing 18 mpg regardless how I drove it. It's because I just drive around sort of inner city areas. I haven't taken this on as many trips as I thought I was going to take it. I mean, the years just flown by. And yeah, basically I do get around 180 to 200 miles still from a tank. Now I will explain that. Basically this car, I just drive it dynamic like 90% of the time. Rarely driving any other modes. I've got like a bit of a habit, like every time I see something that's a bit enclosed, I have to downshift and just make a big DSG bang. I know it's a bit Asbo-ish, but you know, it's just how it is. So yeah, the car still gets 180 miles to a tank. For me though, it's not sort of a judgment of the S3 as a whole as a car. It has improved now. If I take it on some sort of dual carriageways and mix it up, get a sort of a combined sort of cycle, it will easily do 23, 24 mpg, no problem. That's just sort of inner city driving. So yeah, I fully believe this car will do 40 on a run. I've done it I think once, it's hit 40. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely efficient if you want it to be, but me personally, I just can't drive efficiently, man. I've just got a habit of just driving it. I don't know, I just drive it first, second gear all the time. In terms of putting a number to the fuel, as in like an amount, I'd probably say it comes to around £60 a week for me currently. That varies, it goes up and lower depending on how I drive, but if I'm going to average out for over the sort of whole year, it's about 180 miles per tank. So £60 per week, that equals just over about £3,000 for the whole year. That does sound like quite a lot, but like I said, if you guys are going to do more normal driving, yeah, you'll get better MPG than me. I'm going to fully tell you straight up that I don't drive this car efficiently. I just can't be bothered. I mean, I just enjoy it because I don't do too many mileage anyway. I'm going to keep a running total at the bottom of the screen just so you guys are aware of how much it's totaling up to in the whole year. I'm not going to use a calculator whilst I'm driving for obvious reasons, but yeah, we'll keep a little running total at the bottom. So moving on to the next sort of area, I think we'll talk about tyres. Now the tyres is a big thing. These tyres that came on this car, they weren't too great. They were Bridgestone Turanzas. Really not that good tyres, to be fair. Don't really do the car justice. So the tyres ordinarily would last longer than 9,000 odd miles. I'm pretty sure they would, but I do drive this car a lot in dynamic, like I said, and also ESC in sport. So strangely enough, even though this is a Quattro or Haldex as ever you guys are always saying, the car does sort of slide out. You can get the back out on this because the facelift they had retuned the sort of Haldex to send more power to the back more aggressively. So I mean, it is quite a playful car. So what playful normally equates to is having your car sort of slide around, which equals more tyre wear. So 9,000 miles, I've had to change all 4 tyres, and to be fair, I wasn't too fussed with that because I was just dying to get rid of the tyres that came on it from the factory. Bridgestone Turanza T005s, I believe they're called. Absolutely shit tyre. I'm just going to put that straight out there. Rubbish tyre. I don't know why they use it, but yeah, the car was just understeering, and it wasn't even understeer that was the issue. It was the fact that it just felt mushy when I was driving. And it's like when I drove the Golf 1, I did that video about how it handles so much better. I'm not gonna lie, if I had these tyres on this car right now and I did the video, the outcome would be a lot less sort of skewed in the Golf R's favour. But yeah, so the tyres exactly, I'll just tell you guys, Michelin Pilot Sport 4s. Now these tyres are more expensive relatively to your normal set of tyres that you need on, say, if you're just doing day-to-day driving. But as I drive this car and I do videos for you guys, I need to have a good set of tyres on this. I originally wanted the Pilot Sport 4S's, but those only come in 19-inch and above, and this S3 is on 18-inch standard alloys, so I opted for the next best thing which I could, the Pilot Sport 4s. Yeah, so on average it was £120 per tyre. Now including fitting, That comes to around 500 quid in total for a full set fitted. I think the running total now is around what, 3,600 quid, about there or thereabouts. So yeah, I mean, a lot of money already spent, but there are a few more things to go. Anyway, so the next thing, if you haven't drowsed off by now, yeah, I know it's a really informative video of me just rambling on about costs, but a lot of you guys want to know. So the next thing is brakes. Getting to the point, I've done the front brake discs and pads. Initially, of course, you wouldn't need to do discs after such a short amount of time, but I was advised to do discs because I took it to Audi, and whilst my car was in for its coolant issues, as some of you guys are aware, it did have coolant issues, which I did a separate few videos on a few months back, I believe it was. And yeah, so basically they advised me to change the pads. That's fine. And then they also advised when it was brought back to them for the second coolant issue, believe it or not, I went twice to the garage. They then advised me to do discs as well. Now the thing is, they called me well over 500 quid, and I was like, 500 quid, that's quite a lot of money, because I need to do a service as well, which I'll get to in a second. So I thought, instead of just skimping out and just doing pads, I might as well do the discs as well. I know a lot of the time they just recommend jobs just to get the work in. It's more of an advisory, as like, you might as well do the discs, because often you don't really need to do discs this early. But I thought I might as well as I'm doing the pads, I might as well get the discs done. The thing is, I didn't get it done by Audi, because that is a lot of money to spend for what is just a simple job. So basically I took it to an independent garage, a friend of mine, and yeah, I did the whole job for £330 including labour. So the parts came to around 280 quid. I used proper parts, it wasn't like we skimped out parts. And yeah, the total job was done for 330 quid. That's discs and pads. I'll just go around the roundabout a second. I'll show you guys the tyres. Look at this grip. This car's ridiculous now with the new tyres, man. Absolutely ridiculous. That is a lot of wind. The grip is amazing. This is going to end up turning into a tyre video, but we're going to focus on running costs. Basically, I know this video is really looking like a mess right now, but yeah, basically the final thing is servicing. So I've had the oil change on this done. When it was in for its coolant job, the service light was on then. So you think about it, servicing, brakes, the coolant issue, it all just happened in one go. So I was getting kind of annoyed, because I wanted to just get the car back on road, and I wanted to get on with my life basically and do some travel out, do some videos, etc. But the car was just really playing up, and I basically told them to just do the oil change. Now an oil change isn't really a complex job at all, because look, I got the brakes done by an independent garage, so I could easily have done the oil change. These cars, a lot of them are on a 2-year cycle. You can actually reset the oil change sort of indicator on the car. It's to allow for people to do it themselves or get it done. The main service that's mandatory is the inspection, which I'm sure some VAG specialists could do anyway. But yeah, I opted for them to do the oil change. I just thought, might as well while it's there. I just wanted one less light on the dashboard, because it was literally like a Christmas tree of yellow lights on this dashboard. It's all sorted. So yeah, the oil change was quite expensive. Some of you guys probably thinking, what the hell, yeah, but I paid 237 quid for the oil change. A lot of money. Thinking back, as soon as I actually did it, I was just regretting it. I was like, could have easily got it done independently. I mean, I'm not against independent stuff, I'm fully for it, because there was an EU ruling a few years back, which means that your warranty isn't void as long as they use proper parts. So I mean, there's literally no problem with taking your car to an independent, guys, no problem at all. Because look, I got my brakes done from independent. So the oil change was 237 quid. So I believe the total now, that's all the costs in total. I believe it's around £4,000, maybe a bit more. Yeah, so you can, of course, you can add and subtract less if you want to do that. To give a sort of general average, I believe we'll say to run one of these, you're looking at about £3,500 to £4,000 for the whole year. That's just running costs. Because look, of course, stuff like brake discs, you might not have needed those. That was just me. I wanted to do for just because I thought I'm going to have the car for longer anyway, so I might as well just get them done. When I got the brakes done, I was advised that there was a slight lip on the disc anyway, so it wasn't a pointless job, but it was actually a reason behind it. Anyway guys, I hope you found this video informative. Let me know if you have any further questions on how much it costs to run an S3. Of course, we didn't cover stuff like insurance and the car itself, but those are all dependent on yourself and what your circumstances are, where you live, etc. It's all very dependent on those sort of things, so it's not really a general S3 running cost. But yeah, we've covered the main things that I've sort of incurred. And yeah, just let me know in the comments. I'll try and get back to you guys as much as I can. And I'm going to start doing a few sort of night vlogs let me know in the comments what you think about those. They're basically have fun with cars. If some of you guys follow me on Instagram, yeah, make sure you check out my Instagram. I'll put it on the screen now. I do tend to hang around with a lot of my friends at night time and do sort of like, we just drive around and have fun with the cars. So I'm gonna play around and doing a little vlog on that, because we have like all M3s out and RS3s. We just have fun. Like, I think it'll add sort of a new dimension to the channel if I start incorporating stuff that you can see more of what I do basically, like, and how I just chill around cars. Because the main thing with this channel is not a review channel, it's more about my sort of take on cars, and like, you know, just generally, like, I'm around cars quite a lot, I'll be honest with you. Just not even bought on purpose, just like all the time. Cars are everywhere in my life, so I'd love to show you guys more of that. And yeah, basically, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and yeah, basically subscribe for more to come.